Hi everyone. I hope you're all doing well and being healthy. Strange times we live in. I was grocery shopping with Gail today, and although I stayed in the car and she went in, every grocery store had a long lineup in front of it. People staying 6 feet apart and so on. So, absolutely strange times we live in. I never thought I would see this. It almost seems like something out of the books you read on World War II rationing and so on. So, anyways, the something happened to me this week, and it was really I hope you allow me to share this with you. This thing happened to me on Wednesday, so I'm going to kind of set it up a little bit. I heard something on a radio this week, and it went like this. What happens when sinful desires meet external temptation? Sinful desires meeting external temptation. It's a bad combination, right? And I think I let that kind of get to me this week. I'll expand on that again. On Thursday, while Gail was with the ladies doing a Bible study, she sent me or texted me a verse from 1 James and verse 14, and it went like this, or goes like this. But each person is tempted when he is lured and enticed by his own desire. Right? So I thought it was pretty appropriate for what had happened on Wednesday. So I picked up the Bible and started rereading 1 James, and it's verse 15 that really got me. Verse 15 goes like this, and it follows verse 14, of course, saying, Then desire, when it has conceived, gives birth to sin, and sin, when it is fully grown, brings forth death. Very scary stuff, right? But there's an evolution here of sin and how it starts very innocently and so on. I'll give us a bit of a backdrop with how work is going. We have 12 stores. Things have been very difficult. Lots of layoffs, lots of crying and so on. And it's been difficult. It hasn't been easy to handle. Our service departments have been declared essential services, but our sales part has not. So that's why the showrooms are closed. We're still trying to do online selling. We had 22 financial services managers. They're all laid off except for myself. I'm very thankful for the boss I have, though, because he's doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes to help out a lot of people and so on. But it's been really difficult. A lot of shattered dreams happening with that. I had big plans myself. That we were going to make this the best business office in North America and so on. And we were having some early success and so on. But it hasn't worked out that way, right? So what did I do? So on Wednesday when I came home, I had a temper tantrum with God. As comical as it might seem for somebody my age, I had a temper tantrum. It was similar to having a child whose toy was taken away. And I think that's what would happen. I put my toy was a success I was having at work, and it was taken away. Lots of self-pity happening, lots of self-loathing. Why me, right? And I really was in a state of disobedience, and I really forgot about the blessings that I do have in life that He's given me. And I think the point here is that it's easy to lose our way, isn't it? I mean, it's not difficult at all to lose our way, and this is what happened. The devil is a master of manipulation. He's going to try and trick up a believer and wreck our testimony, in this case mine, as best he can. And that's all he's got left. He's got nothing else that he can do besides that, but it's powerful. I was reminded of a song from the Newsboys, Stay Strong, for those that like the Newsboys. And there's a verse in there that says, and I'm just going to, I had it copied here, so I'm going to reread it. But the verse in the Newsboys song says, here's where the ground gets loose. Here's where the devil calls your bluff. And maybe he was calling my bluff, right? Am I ready to carry my cross when need be and so on? So, I found that pretty interesting. Last year, I think it was, in a message I put out, I've been talking to Sam about this all week long. I discussed something, or brought up something called the Western illusion. I had heard it somewhere else. It wasn't my original thought. But the Western illusion more or less means that we live in this part of the world where things are going fairly well. Sure, there's a lot of stress, there's poverty and social unrest, but we have a lot of food to eat. We have shelter, we have jobs. Things are going pretty well, right? It's a good life. Why do I need God and so on? And I talked about what would happen if that was all, if the air was popped out of that balloon and so on. And it's happened. I think we're seeing the Western illusion in a process of being destroyed in a sense. So how do we react now, right? Because we're really being placed in a difficult situation with this COVID-19 virus and what's happening. It's almost like, again, I was talking to Sam about this. Sam often talks about what's happening in the healthcare field, and I talk about what's happening in the business world. Because it's really a pick your poison type situation. We're being forced to choose between people's health, which I think should always come first, and the overall economic impact that could last years and years and years from this. I mean, we're seeing businesses suffer. We're seeing people who weren't prepared for this living paycheck by paycheck that are really going to be hurt by this. We're seeing young people that won't be able to get on track as quickly as they thought they would in financial matters and so on with life. We're seeing even older people whose retirement savings are being depleted. It's going to be difficult. And I think what's going to happen, we're going to be living, and this has been getting on me, or getting to me, I should say, we're going to be living in a world that's less open, less prosperous, and less free. I won't be surprised if we wind up with some kind of form of legalized surveillance to monitor our movements and so on. This is going to be the reason why this happens. So I don't want to sound too prophetic or apocalyptic, but these are the things I think we're going to see happen from this. So it's a really difficult situation we're being put in. I was reminded what Jay Ball has told me a few times, where the Lord's trying to get our attention, and He was trying to get my attention, because I was really being led in a where I was putting all my focus. Yes, I'm a believer, but I was putting my focus. I wasn't walking with the Lord like I should. I put all my focus in material success and so on, and it's in the process of being crashing down. I looked at something that Scott DeGroff posted today, and I thought it was really well titled. He said, although we're quarantined with Christ, we're not quarantined from Christ. And I thought that was pretty interesting. And he quoted John 15:9, which reminded me, as the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Abide in my love. I'm just going to flip this page over because I made a couple notes and so on. So what I did here after Wednesday's event, and I'm so thankful for the wife I have, I read the full book of Daniel Wednesday night, and it did me a lot of good just to get back to Scripture and so on. So I made a mental list today about the things that I can see that can change in the world versus the things that can't change. It's crazy. That list of things that can change goes on and on and on. I just wrote a few things if you'll indulge me for a moment. So things that can change: my health, my job, my finances, world events like wars and so on, house repairs, maybe I'll need a new roof, governmental laws, they come and go, they change, people's attitudes towards me, pandemics, we see this, they can happen, they can come, they can go. Natural disasters like hurricanes, tornadoes, the weather, it's cold, it's hot, traffic, one day it's busy, one day it's not. Our ability to meet in prayer may change down the road. Who knows what happens, right? Our travel plans can change. People coming in and out of our lives, infrastructures. For those of us old enough, we've seen buildings come and go, right? My favorite band breaks up. Who knows? The Beatles were never going to be together forever. The Patriots, they lost Tom Brady. That changes. So I can go on and on and on. I don't want to make light of it, but things change, and there's a lot of things we can't control that we put comfort in that do change. What can change? My salvation. I'm so thankful for that. That can change. God doesn't change. In Hebrews 13:8, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So very few things can change, but an awful lot can change. So what happens in this world that all of a sudden has more instability than ever? Where do we run to for stability? We should be running towards Jesus, shouldn't we? There are some answers here. What do we do? How do we deal with all this? Well, we need to pray. We need to read. And we need to seek out other believers for comfort and encouragement and so on. I think that's important. But above all else, like I said, run to Jesus. Seek Him out. I learned this week that whatever road I'm on, I'll find an answer. It may not be an answer I want or should have, or an answer that's good for me, but I'll find an answer. I was reminded again that I should run to Jesus when this happens. So thanks very much. I hope everybody stays healthy, and have a great Saturday.